semi-final stages of the Bet World Cup of Darts, all brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. Representing the host nation, Germany, would you please welcome the Wall, Martin Schindler, and Pikachu, Ricardo Pietreczko!
Semi-final, we have Germany and their duo of Martin Schindler and Ricardo Pietreczko, who, as you know, produced one of the biggest shocks in World Cup history last night in knocking England and the two Lukes out of this tournament. And they kind of brought the drama with them to the quarterfinals as well. They survived a real scare against Australia, but ended up beating the 2022 winners in a last leg decider. Northern Ireland, meanwhile, and their team of Josh Rock and Daryl Gurney, a little less dramatic, I suppose. They beat South Africa last night and then the Republic of Ireland 8-5 this afternoon. Both of these nations have never made a World Cup final before, so who can make some history here in Frankfurt this evening for the first time tonight? Let's head to cons and join Wayne Mardle, but first, Dan Dawson.
Yes, good evening. Emma quite right. The nation is going to carve out a little piece of darting history for themselves tonight. They will reach the final of the World Cup of Darts for the first time in history. It is either Northern Ireland, with the experience of double major champion Daryl Gurney and the youthful power of their team captain Josh Rock, or it is the host nation Germany, with Martin Schindler, the most successful German player in the history of PDC darts, and Ricardo Pietreczko, a man who is named after a kid's cartoon character. Might be the dream team. It is the very first time that Germany have sent a team to the World Cup where both of them are title winners. Gabriel Clemens never won a PDC title. Max Hopp had, but Schindler hadn't when he was playing with him. This looks, well, it is the first time we've got proven winners in this Germany team. And could it be enough to see them through to the final in front of nearly 3,500 fans here?
This is their best chance. Up to press, surely, Dan. They have a real team ethic going on. They like each other. all 4 teams left will fancy this. They just have to. They're all world-class players. There's not a weak link anywhere to be seen in the semi-finals of the World Cup of Darts. And every time a 60 goes in, expect a cheer, apart from when Northern Ireland hit 60.
You're right, there is no weak link. We've got a selection of brilliant players here. However,
100.
Wales, the Netherlands, Germany, it's all been quite even in how the work has been handled between the 2 teammates. Northern Ireland is the outlier because Josh Rock has been brilliant from dart 1.
Yeah.
He's one of the best. He's only outperformed in terms of the numbers by the 2 Welsh lads, and even then it's not by much. Is it more 180s than anybody else in the tournament? Daryl Gurney hasn't hit those heights, and he kind of needs to up his game. If he does, they could win this.
Yeah, totally agree. Josh Rock, for me, has been outstanding for a long time, but he really has shown his teeth in this. He's aggressive, he's believing, and he can certainly hold it together under pressure, we know that. This game should be dramatic, let's hope so. The cheers will just keep coming, but they have to continue to keep the German fans buoyant.
Well, there's no messing around there from Josh Rock.
He doesn't really faff, does he, Josh? He walks back after collecting his darts like a man that cannot wait to throw again.
Yeah, he's constantly on the move.
81.
And you mentioned about him being aggressive. Last year he played with Brendan Dolan. Brendan Dolan and Daryl Gurney were a real dogfight to get into the team. They were keep leapfrogging each other in the rankings. But Josh Rock had said, I think I'll be better with Daryl, because he'll want to be aggressive. He'll want to bring that fire out of me, and that's when I feel like I play my best, and we've seen a bit of that this weekend.
Yeah, I think that obviously we're individuals and we play the game different, we live different, we are different. But Josh Rock likes to get at it, and a calming influence around him may not do him any good in darting terms.
Let him off the leash.
Yes, yes. Wish I'd have said it like that.
96.
Well, Martin Schindler, as solid as he's been, hasn't really unleashed his scoring power, and it's a big part of his game. So he may need to do that this weekend. Only a couple of 180s for Schindler.
Yeah, I noticed in the game with Australia there was a lot of good first darts. They weren't bad second or thirds, but he just couldn't seem to find the 2 and 3 treble visits. And it goes like that at times.
And they are persisting with Martin Schindler throwing second behind Ricardo Pietreczko, something they've done from the start of this tournament.
Yeah. Northern Ireland require 160.
For 2-0. For 2-0. Oh, I was waiting for him to give it.
Germany require 139.
This is much harder than the 160. Because even if he got the treble first start, he'd have to move and find another target.
Yeah. And it sounds ridiculous to say, Dan, but you're 100% correct. Here come the boos. Said about keeping them quiet. Daryl will not shy away from giving it. And Josh Rock is even more eager sometimes than Daryl. I hope this gets spicy.
It's certainly got the potential.
It has.
There's a very interesting little rivalry between the 2 team captains here, Martin Schindler and Josh Rock. Now, the biggest titles these 2 have won in their careers so far are European Tour ones. Schindler's got 3, Rock has got 1. And in the last year, they've played each other in semi-finals on the Euro Tour 3 times. Shindy's won 2, gone on and taken the title both times. Rock won the other one, he won the title. So they are used to playing each other in big semi-finals, significant ones for their careers, and then going on and capitalising on the victory.
Yeah. And Daryl, of course, got the better of Martin Schindler last year in the World Cup. That was an 8-7 to Northern Ireland on that occasion.
Yeah, they battled back from 7-4 down. Never got a match start, though.
No. For 3-zip. This is going wrong pretty swiftly for the Germans.
100.
Them beating England seems a long time ago now. Brilliant start, though, Dan, from the Northern Irish.
Absolutely. Josh Rock doing what he's been doing all tournament, playing world-class stuff. And that is 3-0. It's only one break of throw, but that scoreboard pressure is there.
Yeah.
They've held throw, Northern Ireland, in 14 and 13 darts. We've said many times this weekend now, 12 darters, 4 visit legs. They're like hen's teeth in this form.
Yeah.
They are rare. But Northern Ireland are forcing Germany to hit those to break throw.
But there's no doubt about it, the crowd have gone a little mute. They need something to happen quickly. They want to cheer on their men. Darts is difficult when you're under the cosh. And that last dart, he will have hated that. They know they're under it, Dan, already. It's been going, what, 5 minutes?
100.
Well, look at that. Northern Ireland, every time they go into the ball, they are getting at least one dart perfect.
And the thing with that as well, and we've said it before, is that every time you're not giving your opponent something to jump on, the pressure just ramps up.
58.
There's enough pressure on them with it being the World Cup, putting on that shirt that you've so wanted to wear since you picked up a dart.
Important trouble, but Northern Ireland can force an opportunity here. And Daryl Gurney is going the right way about it.
140.
Brilliant rhythm from Daryl. One of his best visits in this World Cup, actually. Forget what score it was, they were thrown so well. Big moments here.
2 tops.
Yes. Yes!
So close to 4-0 in the double break. Can the German captain put a stop to this run from the Northern Irish team? Bullseye.
61.
They're in trouble.
Northern Ireland, you acquired 20.
This is where you need that little bit of luck. You need your opponents to miss at the right time for you. And right now, Germany need Daryl to miss. He's having none of it. He looks as cool as hell.
One just outside, one in the target, and Rock piling into the treble again. It is there. First 180 of this one. Josh Rock is just stretching his lead at the top of that count. He is scoring beautifully in this tournament.
Isn't he just?
60.
This is going according to plan for the Northern Irish.
They were not anticipating it being this straightforward in the early stages.
Exactly, that's why I laughed and joked. You do have a plan, Dan, and it's like, right, let's get stuck in early, let's find our rhythms and see how it goes. If you can even come out of a session 4-3 down, but you know you're playing well, it's like, do you know what? This is all right. Well, this is more than all right now.
41.
If you are going to hit 41, have it when you absolutely miles clear.
Ricardo Pietreczko is just trying to collect himself here because this is not going well for him.
43.
And time is running out for Ricardo to turn things around. You cannot change the order of your players. He's going to be leading off in every leg in this match. So he's going to have to up it.
Yeah.
58.
And we mentioned about Daryl Gurney having to up it tonight if Northern Ireland are going to win this thing. He has upped it. He's playing well, but that is a first max for the Germans.
But of 129, they've still got 6 darts. It may be a meaningless 180. It just may be scoreline-wise. Or maybe it actually gives Martin Schindler a bit of a boost. Again, Dan, the Germans hoping and praying that Darrell cannot hit a double.
Hoping in vain. Words between the Germans, because this is disappearing. The dream is dying rapidly in Frankfurt.
He needed that. He needed a 61st dart just to relax a second. This guy needs no help. This is magnificent from the Northern Irish. It really is. Yes, Dan, Germany are not playing great, but they're being trodden on, aren't they?
They absolutely are. I thought for a moment they were going to get stamped on as well. A reminder, by the way, Josh Rock, who is the world number 17 right now, 24 years old. Look at the way he's stepped up once again in just his second World Cup.
Been making huge waves for the last 3 years on tour, Josh Rock. Making big noises. At last. They're going to get a dart at a double that's not a bullseye. And it falls to Riccardo to stop the rock. The pressure on him is immense, it really is. Especially if Darrell can hit a treble 20 here.
60. Germany required 40.
When you haven't been throwing at doubles, it can be tricky. They will not be whitewashed, but it is a long way back from here.
Without playing down that leg too much, that was a holder throw.
100.
It felt like a break, it was so important. It just did.
It's a start. Well, since Germany hit the winning double this afternoon against Australia, we've got more than 3,000 tickets sold for tonight. Another 10% was sold in the time since they hit that winning double in the quarter-final. People have been buying tickets, kind of thinking this is going to happen. They might have changed their mind in quite a short space of time.
Darrell Gurney, he's so wily. He really is. We know he's a major champ.
43.
But that 60 went in last dart, and he just knew the importance of it. He meant they had nothing to jump on. The grouping of this guy is insane right now. The pace of him, the confidence, the swagger, the speed, you name it. He's got it all right now, Josh Rock. In a format that doesn't lend itself to all what I just explained.
No need to go to the 11s. So went the trickier route. What it does do, it gives his partner 3 clear darts for a 6-1 lead.
This game's been going 13 minutes. I'm not saying it's over, but it ain't far off. If this carries on for another 3 or 4 minutes, this will be over. Northern Ireland 6, Germany 1 in a race to 8 for a place in the World Cup final.
Oh, it looks like Northern Ireland are heading to the World Cup final. Darrell Gurney and Josh Rock at the moment blowing the hosts away. They are averaging around a ton and with some clinical finishing as well. This Northern Ireland pair lead Germany 6-1 in our first semi-final of the night. It could be over pretty soon. To talk you through the stats and talk you through the rest of it, let's hand you back to Wayne and Dan.
Yeah, well, you can see from the stats why the scoreline is as it is, because Northern Ireland are head and shoulders better than Germany so far in this one. Not only are they scoring brilliantly, you can see the 3 180s there, all courtesy of Josh Rock, who is firing them in for fun. He's in double figures for this weekend in the tournament. And bear in mind that Northern Ireland, as one of the top 4 seeds, came in after the group stage, so didn't have those 2 group stage games. But the finishing as well, 60%. It is an all-round performance from both of them. But once again, it is Josh Rock who's the leading light, because individually he is averaging nearly 108.
Yeah, it's going all right for the Northern Irish, has to be said. Joking aside, Germany need to find something double quick. The rule of thumb, Dan, isn't it, is that if it's a race to 8, don't let your opponents get to 7. Well, the problem they got is that they're so far behind that they need to put a spurt on and win 3 or 4 on the bounce to even feel like they got a chance.
And Northern Ireland have been so good on their own throw. They're getting it done in 5 visits almost every time. And it's so difficult to stop them picking up legs. If they carry on in this manner, this will be done.
Yeah, that's fact. Absolutely. Daryl Gurney is throwing some decent stuff without setting the world alight. But when you're your partner, that slipped out the hand. When you're under the cosh, anything can happen. And that will do nothing for your confidence, let me tell you. That can ruin your confidence. Now he's worried about the grip. It's awful when that happens.
Well, there are some players that are prone to those kind of darts. Ricardo Pietreczko is not really one of them.
Exactly.
And you've got to put it down to the situation.
Yeah. You can see it from Rob Cross once every year, but not Ricardo Pietreczko.
85.
You don't need me to tell you they're in trouble. But when you start being unable to hold the dart properly,
100. Germany require 100.
things have got to turn around pretty quickly. Well, it's okay, that.
84. Northern Ireland require 108.
Oh, he's going to get another chance for 7-1.
76.
A miss from Josh Rock allows Germany a chance to snaffle this leg. It's only a hold of throw. He's got to hit the dome.
You said it earlier, when you're not getting shots at doubles, they do seem more difficult, don't they? And going low on that first dart would not have done Martin any favours at all. Daryl knows the importance of this. Wily old Daryl. Look at... No need for the theatrics, just the look. Look at him. Oh.
123.
Daryl Gurney is going to strut and glare his way into the World Cup of Darts final for the first time. Both of these teams playing their 3rd ever semi-final in this tournament.
60.
Neither of them have taken that next step.
Yeah, this was a very winnable game for both, and they had to feel like that. It's just working out that the Northern Irish are having a worldie of a game, and the Germans are not.
Yeah, let's put this in context. If this was the 2 Lukes, it's unfortunate the point wasn't touching the ball for Martin Schindler. If this was the 2 Lukes, averaging 9 on 100 and hitting nearly 60% of their doubles, we'd be sitting here saying, this is world class, this is exactly what we expected.
Yeah.
But it's the Northern Irish putting in that kind of display.
We'd be offering up words like unbeatable, Dan.
Yes.
We would. Well, I would.
96.
That's another fact.
The end is nigh, and it's getting nigher.
122.
Magnificent. Daryl Gurney strutting around like he owns the place. Every time he gets on a double, he looks likely.
58.
But it's going to be Josh Rock who gets the poke to do it.
Tops.
16.
Not just yet, but more match darts on the way, and Josh Rock can afford a little smile as he prances to the ball.
Yeah. All Ricardo can do is hit 171, leave 36 and not get a shot.
85.
The man who's looked deadly on doubles for a place in the World Cup final.
Double two. It is some history for Northern Ireland, and now Daryl Gurney celebrate. Rock and Gurney have taken the host nation apart with a world-class display. Rock brought the power in the scoring phase. Gurney getting the job done when he needed to at the back end of legs. And for the very first time, Northern Ireland are through to the final of the World Cup of Darts. And if they play like they did in the semis, they've got a real chance of going all the way and taking the title.